week with both algebra teachers out and having to watch videos to learn your content. So today I'm going to try to do a quick video and remind you of some of the things that you should have processed through this week. One of the things is that there should have been a moment where you realize that there are 3 types of solutions that you can get as you're working. On this page, I'm just working out some multi-step problems like we would have done back in Unit 1 and 2. I'm going to do them rather quickly. If you are having issues with the solving part, you're going to need to slow down this video and watch it at a pace by pausing. That's how you slow it down to make sure you get how to solve. My purpose here is to go quickly and get to the 3 types of solutions. So here's the first kind of problem. Multi-step is what it looks like. I'm going to start off by doing the distributive property. 6 times x and 6 times 3 gives me 6x plus 18, keeping the other side. The next thing I'm going to do is get the variables to the left, which means I'm going to subtract 2x, which is the variable, on both sides. That gives me 4x. Bring down the 18. The 2x cancels out the 2x. Then the next thing I'm going to do is subtract the constant. So I'm going to subtract 18 on both sides so that I have the variable on the left and the constant on the right. 4x is still here. The 18s cancel. 11 minus 18, negative 7. When I keep going, the next thing I'm going to do is divide by 4. Divide by 4 on both sides to get x isolated, and that gives me negative 7 over 4. That is an answer. This is one type of solution. This is the first type you can get, one solution. Now let's move to this second problem. On the second problem, we would multiply, again, the distributive property. So 6x plus 18 equals 6x plus 18. I already noticed something weird since both sides are the same. But I'm going to do as I did up here. I'm going to work to get the variables on one side. I'm going to subtract this 6x to get it off of this side, which means I have to subtract 6x on the other side of the equal sign. What unexpectedly, the 6x cancels the 6x over here, and it also cancels on this side where I wanted it to. And it comes out to 18 equals 18, which is true. And when that's true, but you have lost your variable along the way, you have infinitely many solutions. What that means is I could go back to this original problem and put anything I want at all in for x, and both sides will equal the same. So the second solution type you can get is infinitely many solutions. You're working along, your variables cancel, and what's left is true. The third kind of problem that you can get is here. This also looks weird. I have 6x on both sides, but they have different numbers with them. I'm going to go through the same steps. I'm going to get my variable off of the right side and try to move it to the left side. So this accidentally cancels, which is not my intent, but it does. And on this side, it cancels, which I wanted it to do. And I have 18 equals negative 12, which is not true. If it is not true, then you have the third type of solution, which is no solution. What that means is I can go back to this original problem and I can put anything in for x, and nothing will work to get both sides equal. So during this week, you should have noticed in your work that you could get 3 types of solutions. It would work out, which is one solution. It cancels everything, but what you have left is true. That's infinitely many solutions. Or it cancels and what you have left is not true. When what you have left is not true, that is no solution. Now I'm going to go through the types of problems that we threw at you this week. This is the first kind that we threw at you on Monday, where we had two y equals equations. And when you're done, you're supposed to have an answer for x and y. So I'm going to go on over here and I'm going to write an ordered pair. And when I'm done, I need to have an x and a y answer. Starting at the beginning of the week, if they were both y equals, we did what was called the equal value method. We took the first equation, 10x minus 2, and we said that equals the second equation, negative 3x plus 37. Why can we do that? Because they both say they equal y. If they both equal y, then they equal each other. Once I get here, guys, I'm going to go quick because I'm solving a multi-stepper problem now, which is something that you should have known how to do in Unit 1 and 2. So I'm going to start off by moving the variable off of the right so that my variable's on the left. You know that that's not required, that you can have a variable on the left or the right, but I'm going to do all of these problems the same way so I'm not causing any confusion. Next, I'm going to get the constant term, which is my minus 2, over here with the 37. The way I do that is plus 2 on both sides of the equal sign. That leaves me with 13x equals 39. And then the last step to getting x alone is to divide both sides by 13. That gives me x equals 3. So I have the first part of my answer, x equals 3. The name of the game that you've been working on this week is Substitution. That is the name of the game. So we're going to do substitution with this x equals 3 back into either one of these problems to get our y answer. So I'm going to take the top one just because it's easiest to take the top one. And I'm going to put my x equals 3 right in the place of that x. So y equals 10 times 3 minus 2. I just took this 3 from my first step of work and put it in here in the place of x. Y equals 10 times 3, which is 30, minus 2. Y equals 28. There is my second part of my answer. This is a one solution problem. I have one answer for x and one answer for y. The name of the game was to substitute. The second kind of problem that we threw at you guys this week are these kinds of problems, which probably should have been easier than the first kind, but they threw some students for a loop. So I'm going to explain this kind. On this kind, I'm explicitly already telling you that y is 4. So I already have what y equals. I need to take my top problem that has an x in it because I don't know what x is. And I'm going to copy that top problem. And I'm going to substitute. The name of the game is substitution. So I'm going to put this 4 in the place of y. That's the only thing I know how to do right now. So I'm going to take this 4 and put it in the place of y. And suddenly I have a problem I can solve now. I'm actually going to leave the variable on the right this time. And I'm going to add 2 on both sides to start to get this 10x by itself. 4 plus 2 equals 6. And then I have 10x right here left over, and the 2's cancel out. The next thing I'm going to do to get x by itself is divide by 10. Normal steps here, folks. Those 10's cancel. I chose that on purpose. And then 6 divided by 10 is a fraction that can simplify to 3/5. So 3/5 is my x. This is my one solution, one answer for x, one answer for y. I know we don't prefer fractions, but there you have it. Another kind is when we told you what x equals. So I have an ordered pair spot here for my answer, and I already know x is negative 6. So I'm going to take my top problem again, and this time I'm going to replace the x with negative 6. Negative 6 in the place of x. So y equals 10 times negative 6 minus 2. Y equals 10 times negative 6, which is negative 60 minus 2. Y equals negative 62. I put negative 62 in the place of y, and that is my one answer. Again, I have one x and one y. The last type of equation we asked you guys to do was full-on substitution, where y is an expression like 10x minus 12, and x is an expression like 2x plus 5. This is the hardest kind. But essentially the steps are the same. You know that when you're done, you need an x answer and a y answer. And I haven't given you either one. So I'm going to take the first problem and I'm going to substitute. The name of the game is substitution. I'm going to replace x. This time when I replace x, it is a whole expression. So there's my 10. My x is replaced with parentheses minus 12. This time x is 2y plus 5. So in the place of x, I got to put the whole expression 2y plus 5. And then it's multi-step equation like we started on this video. I need to do the distributive property, which gives me 20y plus 50, and then bring down my minus 12. Then I need to combine like terms. 50 minus 12 can be combined to make this a little bit nicer. So 20y plus 38. Now I want to get my two y's together, so I'm going to minus 20y off of this side, minus 20y to the other side of the equal sign. And that gives me negative 19y equals 38. One step left. I'm going to divide to get my y isolated, and that gives me y equals negative 2. So now I know y is negative 2. I just did a lot of work, but I'm not done. I still have to figure out what x equals. Now, throughout this video, I've been taking the top problem and substituting in. But on this one, I'm going to substitute in the bottom problem because I'm looking for x, and this bottom problem says x equals 2y plus 5. Do I have something I can substitute for y? Yes, I just got negative 2. So I'm going to copy this, replacing y this time, replacing it with negative 2. X equals 2 times negative 2, which is negative 4 plus 5. X equals 1. So now I have my one answer for x, one answer for y. That was very fast. You can replay, pause the video anytime you want.